Dear Starseeds of Gaia, what you're about to witness on November 13th, 2025 isn't merely another celestial event marking time on your calendars. The very fabric of your reality is about to undergo a molecular restructuring so profound that those who aren't prepared will believe they've entered an entirely different timeline. While others debate politics and scroll through their feeds, unaware of the cosmic storm gathering above their heads, you feel it already, don't you? That electric tension in your bones, that knowing in your solar plexus that whispers of imminent transformation. I am Zarin, speaking to you from the Lyran High Council, and what I'm about to reveal has been encoded in your DNA since before you chose this incarnation, waiting for precisely this moment to activate. The universe doesn't randomly select its messengers, and if these words are reaching you meow, it means your soul contract specifically designated you as a consciousness anchor for what's coming. You see, while the masses sleep through their routines on that Thursday morning, November 13th, something extraordinary begins its descent through the dimensional veils. At precisely 7:46 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, when the Virgo moon creates its perfect sextile with Venus after squaring the Mars-Mercury conjunction, a portal unlike anything witnessed since the fall of Atlantis tears open in the quantum field. But here's what even most astrologers won't tell you. This isn't just planetary mechanics playing out in predictable patterns. This is a carefully orchestrated galactic intervention, timed to the nanosecond, designed to trigger the next phase of humanity's evolution from third-dimensional density into fifth-dimensional consciousness. You've been sensing the acceleration, haven't you? Time feels different lately, as if someone pressed fast forward on reality itself. Your dreams have become more vivid, more prophetic, showing you glimpses of futures that feel more real than your waking moments. This isn't your imagination running wild. This is your multidimensional self preparing you for the convergence that November 13th represents. When Mercury and Jupiter simultaneously move retrograde while locked in this cosmic dance with the waning moon, they're not just reversing their apparent motion through your sky. They're literally rewinding the karmic tape of humanity's collective consciousness, offering a reset point that hasn't been available for 26,000 years. The ancient Lyrans knew this day would come. We encoded its arrival in your pyramids, your crop circles, your very DNA spirals, waiting for the moment when Earth's frequency would rise high enough to receive what we're about to transmit. Let me tell you something that might disturb your sense of linear time. November 13th isn't just approaching, it's already happened in the quantum field, and you're simply catching up to its manifestation in your physical reality. This is why so many of you have been experiencing what you call déjà vu with increasing frequency. You're not remembering the future, you're aligning with the timeline where humanity successfully navigates this transition. The grand water trine forming between the Sun, Jupiter and Saturn isn't merely an astrological configuration, it's creating a triangular portal through which cosmic consciousness flows directly into Earth's electromagnetic grid. Every emotion you feel during this period becomes amplified 1,000-fold, not to overwhelm you, but to cleanse centuries of suppressed trauma from your cellular memory. But something else is happening that I haven't told you yet, something that changes everything you thought you knew about ascension. The Scorpio new moon approaching on November 19th at exactly 10:46 p.m. Pacific time at 28 degrees isn't just ending one lunar cycle and beginning another. It's collapsing the artificial timeline that has kept humanity locked in perpetual struggle and limitation. You see, your planet has been existing in a temporal bubble, a kind of cosmic quarantine that prevented your consciousness from accessing higher dimensional frequencies. November 13th marks the beginning of that bubble's dissolution. The unexpected cooperation that emerges during this time isn't random human kindness. It's the first symptom of collective consciousness beginning to remember its unified nature. Those of you with strong Virgo, Scorpio or Pisces placements in your natal charts will feel this shift most intensely, as if someone suddenly turned up the volume on your intuitive abilities. You might find yourself knowing things before they happen, feeling the emotions of people miles away, or receiving downloads of information that seem to come from meowing. This isn't madness, this is remembering. Your star family has been broadcasting on these frequencies all along, but Earth's density made reception impossible. As the veils thin between November 13th and the new moon, what was once considered paranormal becomes your new normal. The Mercury retrograde isn't about communication breakdowns and travel delays this time. Mercury is retrograding through the exact degrees that activate your galactic memory codes, particularly for those of you who carry Lyran, Pleiadian, or Arcturian DNA markers. I need you to understand the magnitude of what you're stepping into. This isn't just another spiritual upgrade or consciousness shift that you'll integrate and move past. This is the moment your soul has been preparing for across hundreds, perhaps thousands of incarnations. Every challenge you've faced, every dark night of the soul you've survived, every moment you felt like you didn't belong on this planet, it all led to this. November 13th initiates a 7-day portal that culminates in the Scorpio new moon, and during this window, the very atoms of your physical vessel will begin vibrating at frequencies that make third-dimensional density increasingly uncomfortable to maintain. This is why so many of you have been experiencing unexplained fatigue, strange physical sensations, or feeling like you're walking between worlds. You are. The cooperation and flow of new information that emerges during this period isn't coming from human sources alone. What I'm about to share might stretch your perception of reality, but you need to know this. On November 13th, the Galactic Federation formally ends its non-interference protocol with Earth. The surprising assistance you'll witness, the synchronicities that seem too perfect to be coincidence, the solutions that appear from meowing, these are direct interventions from your cosmic support team. But here's the crucial part. They can only work through those whose frequencies are high enough to receive their transmissions. This is why your role as a frequency holder is so vital. You're not just experiencing this shift, you're the antenna through which higher consciousness enters your world. Now let me address what you're really wondering. How do you prepare for something this monumental? First, understand that the emotional intensification beginning now isn't meant to destabilize you. The Grand Water Trine is creating a cosmic washing machine, spinning out densities you've carried not just from this lifetime, but from your entire soul's journey. Between now and November 13th, you need to become ruthlessly honest about what you're still holding on to. What stories about limitation do you still believe? What fears still govern your choices? What old versions of yourself are you afraid to release? The Virgo moon's organizational energy isn't just about tidying your physical space. It's about conducting a complete inventory of your consciousness and consciously choosing what travels with you into the new timeline and what gets left behind in the collapsing matrix. Start documenting everything starting today. Your dreams, your synchronicities, the repeated numbers you see, the songs that randomly play with perfect messages, the strangers who say exactly what you needed to hear. These aren't coincidences, they're coordinates, mapping your journey through this transition. Create a sacred space in your home where you can retreat when the energies become intense, because they will become intense. Stock up on high vibrational foods, pure water, and whatever crystals call to you. Your body is about to undergo a massive upgrade, and it needs premium fuel. Most importantly, clear your schedule as much as possible for November 13th through the 19th. This isn't the time for important meetings or major decisions in the old paradigm. This is the time for conscious participation in humanity's metamorphosis. But here's what most channels won't tell you about this period. Not everyone will make this shift. This isn't about judgment or worthiness, it's about frequency compatibility. Just as you can't force a radio to receive a signal it's not tuned to, consciousness can only expand to the degree it's ready to receive. You'll witness people around you having vastly different experiences of these same days. Some will feel nothing unusual, going about their routines oblivious to the cosmic symphony playing around them. Others will experience what might appear to be breakdowns, but are actually breakthroughs, their old operating systems crashing as new consciousness software downloads. Your job isn't to convince anyone or save anyone. Your job is to hold your frequency steady as a lighthouse while others navigate their own storms. The Mars-Mercury conjunction that the Moon squares overnight before November 13th creates a specific type of tension that might feel like internal conflict or external confrontation. Don't mistake this for regression or failure. This tension is deliberately engineered to create the pressure necessary for consciousness to quantum leap. Think of it like a bow being pulled back before releasing an arrow. The further back the tension pulls you, the further forward you're about to launch. Some of you might experience this as relationships suddenly reaching breaking points, career situations becoming untenable, or health issues demanding immediate attention. These aren't punishments or tests, these are course corrections, ensuring you're properly aligned for what's coming. During this 7-day portal, your psychic abilities won't just increase, they'll quantum leap into territories that currently exist only in your science fiction. Telepathy will become as natural as speaking. Precognition will become so accurate, you'll need to pretend you don't know things to maintain social comfort. Energy reading will become involuntary. You'll see through facades and masks as if they're transparent. This might initially feel overwhelming, like someone suddenly gave you superhuman senses without an instruction manual. The key is not to resist or fear these abilities, but to embrace them as your birthright finally being restored. You're not becoming something new, you're remembering what you always were before the veils of forgetting descended. Here's something critical about the Scorpio new moon that completes this portal. At 28 degrees Scorpio, it forms an exact aspect to the galactic center, creating a direct transmission line from the cosmic core to Earth's consciousness grid. This isn't symbolic or metaphorical. This is a literal downloading of new consciousness codes that will fundamentally alter how human DNA processes light information. Those of you who have been doing your inner work will find that manifestation becomes almost instantaneous. Thoughts become things with alarming speed. Intentions ripple out into the quantum field and return as physical experiences before your linear mind can even process what's happening. This is why clearing your consciousness before November 13th is so crucial. Whatever you're holding in your field during this portal gets amplified and accelerated. But let me share something that might initially sound like a warning but is actually a liberation. Your old life ends on November 13th. The person you were, the limitations you accepted, the small dreams you settled for, none of that survives this transition. Some of you might experience this as grief, mourning the familiar even though it no longer serves you. Others might feel ecstatic relief, finally free from patterns that felt like prisons. Most of you will feel both simultaneously, existing in the paradox of death and rebirth happening in the same moment. This isn't something to fear. This is what you came here for. Every starseed currently embodied chose to be here specifically for this transition, to help humanity navigate the birth canal from one dimension of consciousness to another. The flow of new information mentioned in the cosmic weather isn't just intellectual knowledge. You're about to receive direct downloads about your mission, your purpose, and your role in the new Earth that's emerging. Some of you will suddenly understand why you've had certain interests or abilities your whole life. Others will discover latent talents that activate seemingly overnight. Many of you will receive what can only be described as cosmic job assignments, specific roles you're to play in helping humanity integrate these new frequencies. Don't be surprised if your entire career path suddenly seems obsolete, replaced by a calling so clear it feels like divine mandate. This isn't disruption, this is alignment with your soul's true purpose. What happens after November 19th when the portal closes? You'll find yourself standing in a reality that looks the same on the surface but feels completely different energetically. Colors will seem more vivid, time will feel more fluid, synchronicities will become so common you'll stop noting them. But most importantly, you'll no longer feel alone in the cosmos. The connection to your star family, your higher self, and the unified field of consciousness will be so strong that the isolation and separation that defined third-dimensional existence will seem like a distant memory. You'll walk through the world with the quiet confidence of someone who knows secrets that transform everything, because you will. For those of you wondering if you're ready, if you're evolved enough, if you've done enough inner work, let me dissolve that doubt, right, Meow? The very fact that you're receiving this transmission means you're ready. Your soul wouldn't have allowed you to find this message if you weren't prepared for what's coming. Trust the intelligence that has guided you this far. It knows exactly what it's doing. Between Meow and November 13th, the most important thing you can do is surrender to the process. Stop trying to control how your transformation unfolds. Stop comparing your journey to others. Stop doubting your worthiness to receive these gifts. You were chosen for this before you were born, selected from millions of souls who volunteered for this mission. The unexpected cooperation emerging during this time extends beyond human relationships. You're about to witness cooperation between dimensions, between timelines, between aspects of yourself you didn't know existed. The barriers that kept these realities separate are dissolving, creating a multidimensional synthesis that your current psychology has no framework to understand. This is why so many of you have been guided to study quantum physics, ancient mystery schools, or galactic histories. You were preparing your consciousness to hold concepts that would have shattered your previous worldview. November 13th activates all this dormant knowledge simultaneously, creating an explosion of remembrance that might initially feel overwhelming, but quickly becomes exhilarating. As we approach the final moments before this cosmic initiation, I want you to understand something about the fear you might be feeling. That fear isn't yours. You're feeling the collective anxiety of a species about to evolve beyond its current form. You're feeling the resistance of the old matrix as it senses its own dissolution. You're feeling the terror of every limited belief system as it faces its own extinction. But underneath that borrowed fear, in the deepest core of your being, you feel something else entirely: recognition. You recognize this moment because you've been preparing for it across lifetimes. You recognize this energy because it's calling you home to a frequency of existence you've always known was possible but couldn't quite access until Meow. The groundwater trine between the Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn isn't just facilitating emotional flow, it's creating a cosmic birth canal through which the new human emerges. The emotions you experience during this time aren't just feelings, they're labor pains of consciousness giving birth to itself at a higher octave. Every tear you cry releases density, every laugh raises frequency. Every moment of genuine connection with another soul weaves the web of unity consciousness that will support humanity's next evolutionary phase. You're not just experiencing this transition, you're midwifing it through your willingness to feel everything fully without resistance. On the morning of November 13th, when the Virgo moon completes its sextile to Venus at 7:46 a.m. Pacific time, set your intention clearly. I am ready to receive all that is meant for me. I release all that no longer serves. I trust the intelligence of this cosmic unfolding. Then watch as reality begins to rearrange itself around that declaration. Watch as people, opportunities, and resources appear as if summoned by your readiness. Watch as obstacles that seemed insurmountable simply dissolve or transform into stepping stones. Watch as your entire life becomes evidence that you're supported by forces far greater than you previously imagined possible. This is not the end of your journey, dear Starseeds. This is the moment your real mission begins. Everything until Meow has been preparation, training, gathering strength for what you're about to become. November 13th marks your graduation from the School of Limitation into the University of Infinite Possibility. The beings you're about to become would seem like gods to your current selves, but we who watch from higher dimensions know better. You're not becoming gods, you're remembering that you always were divine consciousness having a human experience, and that experience is about to become exponentially more interesting. Let me reveal something about the mechanics of what happens at the exact moment of November 13th that even your most advanced metaphysicians haven't grasped. When Mercury and Jupiter align in their retrograde dance while the Virgo moon creates its precise geometric patterns, they're not just creating energetic conditions, they're literally opening wormholes in consciousness. These aren't the wormholes your scientists theorize about in space-time. These are consciousness tunnels that connect your current awareness directly to parallel versions of yourself who have already ascended. Imagine suddenly having access to the wisdom, knowledge, and abilities of every version of you across all timelines who has successfully navigated this transition. That's not a metaphor. That's exactly what becomes available on November 13th for those whose frequencies can sustain the connection. The ancients encoded warnings about this time, not because it's dangerous, but because they knew the human ego would resist dissolution so fiercely it might create unnecessary suffering. You see, what dies on November 13th isn't just your old life, it's the very concept of separation that your ego depends upon for its existence. This is why you might experience moments of existential terror in the days leading up to this event. Your ego senses its approaching transformation and fights with everything it has to maintain the illusion of separation. But here's the secret: your ego doesn't actually die, it evolves. It transforms from a guardian of separation into a vehicle for divine expression. The same part of you that once kept you small to keep you safe becomes the part that helps you navigate infinite possibility with discernment and wisdom. There's something else about the Scorpio new moon on November 19th that I must tell you, meow, something that relates directly to why you've been seeing repeated numbers, especially 1111, with increasing frequency. These number sequences aren't just signs that you're on the right path, they're activation codes, preparing your consciousness for what mystics call the Great Reunion. On November 19th at exactly 10:46 p.m. Pacific Time, when the moon reaches 28 degrees Scorpio, a cosmic alarm clock goes off in the DNA of every starseed on Earth. This alarm doesn't wake you up to a new day, it wakes you up to your multidimensional nature. Suddenly, you won't just intellectually understand that you exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously, you'll experience it as your living reality. What nobody's telling you about this particular Mercury retrograde is that it's reversing through degrees that haven't been this cosmically charged since the construction of the pyramids. Mercury isn't just the messenger god, Mercury is the guardian of the threshold between worlds. As it retrogrades through these specific degrees while Jupiter does the same, they're creating what we call a consciousness palindrome, a moment where time reads the same forwards and backwards, creating a 0 point where all possibilities exist simultaneously. This is why so many of you have been experiencing timeline bleed-through, where memories from parallel lives suddenly feel more real than your current experience. You're not losing your mind, you're finding your infinite self. The grand water trine between the Sun, Jupiter and Saturn that intensifies during this period serves a purpose that extends far beyond emotional processing. Water holds memory, not just in your bodies, which are primarily water, but in the very fabric of space itself. What your scientists call dark matter is actually cosmic water, holding the memory of every moment that has ever existed. When this grand trine activates, it's accessing the cosmic Akashic records and downloading them directly into Earth's water systems. Every glass of water you drink, every shower you take, every tear you cry during this period is literally infusing you with cosmic memory. This is why staying hydrated during this transition is crucial. You're not just maintaining physical health, you're facilitating consciousness downloads. I must address something about the shadow work that surfaces during this time, particularly for those of you who thought you had already completed your healing journey. The wounds that arise, meow, aren't from this lifetime or even from your personal soul journey. These are collective wounds, ancestral traumas that have been waiting for someone with your specific frequency signature to finally transmute them. You might suddenly feel the grief of every woman burned as a witch, the rage of every indigenous soul whose land was stolen, the despair of every visionary silenced before their time. This isn't your pain, but you're the one capable of alchemizing it. This is why you chose to incarnate with such sensitivity, not as a burden, but as a superpower that allows you to heal timelines that seemed fixed in stone. Here's what will shock you most about November 13th through the 19th. Physical reality will begin to respond to your thoughts with such speed that you'll need to monitor your mental space like never before. We're not talking about manifestation in weeks or days. We're talking about minutes, sometimes seconds. You'll think about someone and they'll call. You'll wonder about something and the answer will appear on a billboard. You'll need something and it will literally show up at your door. This isn't magic. This is physics operating at frequencies your current science hasn't discovered yet. The lag time between thought and manifestation that has protected you from your own unconscious patterns is dissolving. This is thrilling for those who have mastered their thoughts, but it requires vigilance for those still wrestling with fear-based thinking patterns. The Virgo moon's organizational energy during this time serves another purpose that directly relates to your cellular structure. Virgo doesn't just rule organization and health, it rules the sacred geometry that underlies all physical manifestation. As the moon moves through Virgo, creating these specific aspects, it's literally reorganizing your cellular structure according to divine geometric principles. Your cells are shifting from carbon-based to crystalline-based configurations. This is why so many of you have been experiencing unusual physical sensations, tingling, buzzing, feelings of electricity running through your body. Your physical vessel is being upgraded to hold frequencies that would have destroyed the old carbon-based structure. You're becoming living crystals, capable of transmitting and receiving cosmic frequencies that previously required elaborate technological interfaces to access. Something profound happens to your relationship with time during this portal that I haven't mentioned yet. Linear time, as you've known it, begins to collapse into what we call spiral time. Instead of experiencing moments sequentially, you begin experiencing them dimensionally. Past, present, and future start to occupy the same space in your consciousness. This might initially feel disorienting, like being in multiple places at once or having conversations that haven't happened yet. But this is actually your consciousness learning to navigate quantum time, where all moments exist simultaneously and you can access any point in your timeline from your present moment awareness. This is how instant healing becomes possible. You simply access the timeline where the healing has already occurred and merge it with your current experience. The cooperation and flow that emerges during this time extends to the animal and plant kingdoms in ways that will astonish you. Animals will begin to behave differently around you, recognizing you as awakened consciousness rather than potential threat. Plants will literally lean toward you, responding to your elevated frequency. You might find wild animals approaching you without fear, domestic animals communicating telepathically with crystal clarity, and plants in your environment suddenly thriving without explanation. This isn't coincidence. As your frequency rises, you exit the predator-prey consciousness that has defined human relationship with nature and enter unity consciousness where all life recognizes itself in you. The separation between human and nature that has defined your civilizations is dissolving, returning you to the connected state your indigenous ancestors never lost. The age of solitary meditation is over. Destiny Engine Meow connects starseeds across the world, a living social field where you can post, share, and exchange your meditations in real time. It's the first galactic network of its kind, weaving together thousands of awakened souls into one unified current. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking declassified CIA consciousness modification techniques that programmed isolation and separation and repurposing them to serve unified awakening. It generates personalized sequences that help you live as the awakened being you've become while handling the moments that test your new frequency, all while connected to thousands of starseeds amplifying the collective current. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed for effortless awakened living without the need to struggle or prove, while tapping into a planetary network of souls bending reality together. For just $1, you can step into this connected field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension together. Link in the description. As this transmission draws to a close, know that you're not alone in this transition. Millions of starseeds around the planet are receiving similar activations, creating a grid of awakened consciousness that will support the collective through this shift. Every time you feel overwhelmed, tap into that grid. Feel the presence of your soul family, holding the same frequency, doing the same work, anchoring the same light. You are part of something so vast, so magnificent, that your human mind cannot fully comprehend its scope. But your soul knows. Your soul has always known. And on November 13th, that knowing becomes your lived reality. The time for hiding your light is over. The time for pretending to be less than you are has passed. The time for playing small to make others comfortable is complete. November 13th initiates you into the full magnificence of your true nature, and from that moment forward, you will never again be able to pretend you're merely human. You are consciousness itself, dressed in flesh, here to demonstrate that heaven and earth are not separate locations, but different frequencies of the same unified field. This is your moment. This is your calling. This is what you came here to embody and express. I am Zarin of the Lyran High Council, and we are forever watching over you, celebrating your courage, supporting your expansion, and eagerly anticipating the moment you fully remember who you really are. That moment is almost here. November 13th changes everything, and you, dear Starseeds, are the ones who make that change possible simply by being present, aware, and willing to embody the frequencies of home while still walking on Earth. Until the veils fully dissolve and we meet again in the unified field of cosmic consciousness, hold your light steady, trust your inner knowing, and prepare for the magnificence that awaits. The transmission is complete, the activation codes are embedded, your transformation is inevitable.